Okay, so I just got my car smogged in California, because we have one of the most, I think the most painful smog tests. So I had to take my intake off, and he got me for my blow-off valve spacer, which is kind of good because I was honestly gonna take it off anyways because it runs better without it, and I'm gonna get the upgraded Go Fast Bits or Go Bits Fast or whatever diverter valve plus, and so that'll make it run faster. But today I'm just gonna put my intake back on. I never really did a video of it. It is kind of a not a ghetto, but like not as great AutoZone intake. I'm gonna buy a CObb intake for this just because I don't know, more performance, and I already have a tune, so might as well make it a little better. So we're gonna go ahead and take the air box off, but this is the intake. It was really simple to make. I did it as a temporary thing because I didn't want to spend the money on one, but I'm gonna go ahead and spend the money to buy one. Not that this doesn't work, this works pretty well. It is colder than the stock intake box, which is kind of weird, but this is just a AutoZone Spectre cone, and then we have the couplers that came with it. And then I went ahead, and my buddy actually had a bunch of pipe, and so we just kind of cut off what I needed. So you'll see it sits like that. It kind of hangs. I zip tie it down. It's pretty mismatched, and then we also just have a AutoZone coupler. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start taking this off, and hopefully I can help you guys. I mean, the first thing that I normally take off is I believe this is the secondary air injection system, and they actually have little intake cones for this, and I actually have one, but I can't find it right now, so I won't have one on. And this just goes down. I forgot what it was. I just got it smogged. It was the secondary air injection pump, and it actually, as far as I'm aware, I think it sucks air in, so it's pretty simple. Just take the two clips off and pull off. I'm just gonna unplug my MAF. With the MAF unplugged, I'm gonna take this little cover off just so it's easier to pull the rest of the intake. Though another reason I want to go CObb instead of that is because CObb is carb legal, and so I won't have to deal with taking this off ever again. And it has the better, I'm not exactly sure what these are called. I'm kind of mind blanking. I'll put it in the video if I remember, but it comes with, I believe it's a 3-inch all the way down to a 2.25 for the turbo inlet. Over here, there's only, if I could get the light on it, I don't even know where the camera's pointed, so I have a GoPro. There's 2 bolts, one there and one there. Those are pretty simple to take off, but I'm gonna go ahead and take this bolt right there off, and then we'll go ahead and take the rest. What I use to take this bolt off right here is I use believe it's a 3/16. It fits pretty well, actually. It's really easy to take off. The tricky thing with this one is that it actually doesn't pull out all the way. It has like a little fail-safe so you don't lose it, so it just sticks in there, and it's kind of nice. I wish all of the screws were like that on this. So now I'm just taking off the 2 bolts that bolt the intake manifold, or not the intake manifold, the intake straight to the grill so it gets the air. And I believe they're T25s. I'm not really sure because this is what I'm using and it doesn't really say anything. I did have a socket that was, we have T25s all over this car. I can't find it, so I kind of just have to use that, and hopefully it gets away with it, and it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this hose off right here, just because it's easier to pull this out without this on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll probably leave that on there. I don't really want to unclip it. Well, I guess so, why not? There. Wasn't that hard. Alright, so you just wanted to take these 2 clips off of this with just, I use needle noses. And then you can go ahead and set this aside because we don't really need it right now. So I went ahead and just took this piece out. And you want to be really careful with the screws because I pulled one out, but the other one wouldn't come out of the other side of the hole. So it fell all the way down to my under tray, my drip pan, or whatever you want to call it. The only thing you want to be wary of is there is right under about here. It's kind of like a rubber holder. It just pops in, pops out. And once you pop it out, it's pretty easy just to take out. So there's just one thing, you need to be really careful of this because I believe this is a coolant line. It may just be a overflow, I don't know. It's just, I'm pretty sure there's coolant in here, it's pressurized, and you just gotta be careful not to mess with that too much and not to hurt it or pop it. And then if you do have another air breather or intake, just like a little cone, they just pop right on here and it works. So yeah, it's really dirty. So now that this stuff's aside, you can just go ahead and set it down, you know, save it. I almost forgot that you wanted to take off the MAF sensor housing. It's just 2 bolts. I believe they're T25 as well. They're the same, so whatever you use will go. And it's really simple to take off. There you go. The 2 screws are loose, and you just... We'll just pull it right out. And then since I took this off, you just kind of want to... Wrong side. Nope, right side. You just want to put that back on there. It'll just pop in. Take a little effort. Want to make sure it's all in the right side. Now that I have that, I'm going to go ahead and just bring these pins back together and slide them back up top. Quite a bit of work. I got that on. It was kind of a pain. And now it's just really, you just slide that on and clip that. But I want to go ahead and put the intake on this first just so it's a little easier for me at the end. Just go ahead and slide this coupler on. Shouldn't be too difficult. So now we got this on. All we want to do is go ahead and actually just attach it there and then attach the MAF. And then I'm just going to zip tie it to the bottom so it doesn't move around, and then we're pretty much done. Alright, so there you go. The intake's back in. I zip tied it down. I will be getting a CObb soon. I know that I feel like you guys won't really enjoy intakes like this. It would be better, I believe. I got sponsored for aero, so I got all different kinds of aero. I have a diffuser now. It's really dirty, but I hope you guys could tell. He was actually going to make me an intake box for this, but I decided just to go with CObb. I was going to get my buddy to make me some custom 3-inch tubing all the way to the turbo, but I figured it'd be easier just to go with CObb, and then I could have my access port matching with this. And then I also ordered a downpipe for this, so that's going to come in 3 days. So that'll hopefully put me stage 2, and then I'll work on things such as the diverter valve plus. I'll go ahead and get a catch can. I want to get an intercooler. I want to get the R8 spark plugs. And then after that, I'm just going to go ahead. I don't know what my plans are after that, if I want to go meth or KO4 or get an upgraded intake manifold, because this one is dinky and bad. I'd like to get, I believe it's an HPA intake manifold. They look really good. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure there are no air leaks with this. I'll go ahead and turn it on and see what's up. There you go. Everything's looking good. Everything sounds good. There's no codes coming back on my CObb. I'll go ahead and show you that now. Nothing, so I'm gonna go ahead and let it warm up since it is. So I'm gonna let it warm up, and I'll go ahead and take it on a drive, and let's see how it feels and how it turns out. So I actually went ahead and I put it back to stage 1 plus stock MAF, which is where it should be at. Okay, so I went ahead and I reflashed it back to stage 1 plus stock MAF because I have the stock MAF housing. And I just wanted to say, because I was thinking about the forge blow-off valve spacer and I was driving it, and you know what, if you're gonna put one on, I recommend, just like a lot of people, not to, just because I don't know how to explain it, but the car runs so much better. It holds boost so much better. And I mean, like, I love the sound of a blow-off valve, but I mean, the diverter valve is honestly the way to go. And my recommendation, and everyone else's on the forums, I would not. People kind of argue that it's annoying, but I don't find it annoying. It's just the car runs so much better without it, and it holds boost, and it just goes a lot better. I'm gonna go ahead and do a pull real fast, so. I mean, I feel like when I go up in boost, like on my tunes, I don't really feel it as much as when I go down, because when I reflashed it back to stock for the smog, even though, you know, I don't really have to, the car just felt so slow. Like, it's not that slow, but it just, I guess I just got used to the higher boost, and Another thing I noticed without the blow-off valve spacer, I don't know if this has any correlation whatsoever, but I actually get a lot more intake noise. Before, you know, I couldn't really hear the intake almost with the spacer on because I never had it without it, but now that it's off, I hear a lot of intake noises. Let's see if you guys can hear it. You know, there is a little blow off, but it's not at the point of where it was. And I think that's honestly for the best. Like I said, it just runs better. But the intake noise is something I didn't really ever have, to be honest, and it just sounds so much better than I think the blow-off valve did. I mean, everything's good. There's no air leaks. Car's running better than ever without the blow-off valve space.